How does it feel now, 3 innings in a row, 3 wins in a row?
Yeah, I mean, November football at its finest. You saw tonight, Big Ten football, Midwest, snow, 2 teams who like to run the ball, physical game. It doesn't get much better than that. So anytime you can come out of this series with a win, they've kind of been a thorn in our side, like I alluded to earlier in the week. We got it done, and hats off to them. They play hard, but I feel like we busted our butts the full 60 today, and I'm just so proud of all those 10 other guys that go out on that field with me on the defensive unit. They all deserve so much more attention than they all get. They do a fantastic job. So.
Yeah, Wisconsin known for running the football, 51 yards rushing today. And you guys really were able to stop that.
Yeah, just playing physical up front. They have good offensive linemen, good backs. It's the will versus the want. If you're just willing to go out there and stop the run, you're probably not going to do it. You got to want to do it, and that's something we kind of. I mean, you can't really teach people that. They kind of have to have that, and I think that's a great sign within the Coach Phil Parker defense. He gets a lot of guys who want to do things.
Does Cooper DeJean fit in that category based on what he was able to do?
Yeah, he's a special kid, and he's a special player too. And I mean, you guys see it out there on Saturdays, and I'm excited to see what he's going to continue to do. So.
The physicality of this kind of game, you look forward to that? I mean, you know you're going to feel it for the next 2 or 3 days.
No, again, it's when you sign your national letter of intent to come play for a Big Ten university as a linebacker, these are the games you want. These are the games you fall asleep and dream about. So, I mean, it's just such a blessing to go out there and get to compete with some of the best in the nation. But, yeah, again, just really, really blessed for this opportunity. I feel like all of us took advantage of it, and we were just trying to control the line of scrimmage. So.
It was like it's an all-out sprint there to get the trophy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anytime you do something special, like emotions are going to come with it. I think Seth Benson and I think maybe Riley Moss already snuck down to that end of that sideline. But, I mean, it was just such a team effort, and you saw 3 phases operating at a high level today. So
you gave up the big play right before half. Didn't allow them to score again after that. What was kind of the message at halftime, after that momentum swing, obviously?
I mean, we knew we've been playing our butts off, and just one big play, like it's just one thing we just need to get corrected. But we're not going to hang our heads. We're not going to point fingers. We're just going to keep doing it. And again, it's just the mindset of all those guys. We got 11 guys out there, and especially the linebacker group. We're called the Mutts. We're the ones that all the kids walked past and didn't want. And we came here, and Coach Ferentz, Coach Seth Wallace, and Coach Phil Parker, Coach Kelvin Bell, Coach Jay Neiman have developed all of us into fantastic men first and foremost, but great football players. So I feel like you got a bunch of mutts out there, and it starts with the linebackers, and we know that. We're going to approach everything humbly and always work to improve. So, I mean, when you got mindsets like that, spreading to the team, the sky's the limit. So.
When Logan recovered that fumble, and I think you picked up the ball, took it to the sideline, and were you throwing it to anybody in particular?
I was trying to aim for his family.
Okay.
I didn't know where they were sitting, but then I had the ball because, I mean, it's always special when you get the ball. So I'm just trying to steal it.
Yeah.
I mean, they can probably. I hope Wisconsin can afford a new football. But I was just I got the ball because I'm not gonna say, but I have a ball from someone, and I was just trying to do the same thing for Logan. I live with him, and I grabbed it from him and I sprinted to the sideline, and you kind of know where the parents sit, and I saw his wife up there, so I just hummed it, but I got like a solely on, and it was a trash throw. It's a good thing I don't play quarterback, but I think I hit someone in the head. So, I mean, we got to figure out if they got it because I saw the ball guys. The ball guys were going up in the stands, so I mean, they cared about that football. So.
How special is it to beat Wisconsin? I know they're probably one of your biggest rivals.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's indescribable. The feelings in that locker room, the friendships with those guys, to get to do things that not a lot of Hawkeye in recent history, not a lot of Hawkeye teams have done. It's just an honor. And we're just so grateful for the opportunity. We're just going to keep going out there and competing because tomorrow we got to flip the switch and get ready for our next opponent. So.
Jack, entering the season, a lot of talk with linebackers, a lot of talk with how good the secondary was. Seems like defensive line was kind of third fiddle, but it just seems like week after week they continue to get better and better. How have you kind of seen them develop?
I mean, yeah, you got a lot of veterans up there, and I feel like it just starts with the guys who started out with Joe Evans, 4th year, John Wagner, 4th year, or the 5th year guys, my bad. Noah Shannon, a 5th year, and then Logan Lee, a 4th year guy. I mean, when you got all that experience up there, it's invaluable, and those guys do their job at a high level, and they play so hard. I knew they could do that, and they're just going to keep proving themselves. But I'm so proud of the defensive line and the way Coach Bell and Coach Neiman have them guys playing. So,
Are you aware that you're tied for first place, and does that even matter to you guys right now?
for what?
The division.
Oh no, I had no idea. But right now, main focus is on just playing our best football. We got to finish strong. Obviously, if we want to get to where we want to get, it all depends on if we can win or not. So right now, it's just focusing on Minnesota and getting ready for them. They're going to present a challenge. I already know that.
I mean, you guys are in a four-way tie for first. You pretty much, outside of one little factor, you control your destiny to get back to Indianapolis. Compared to where you were a couple of weeks ago, after the Ohio State game to now, has anything changed? And if so, what?
No, nothing's really changed, and it's so cliche to say, and all these people on the outside, and you guys are probably like, oh, nothing's really changed, like kind of roll your eyes, but like we just do little things right, and once you do little things right over time, especially at the end of the season when other teams might start like cutting corners, we talked earlier in the week about why do we always tend to play our best in November football. It's because we just do the little things right, man. Mistakes are going to happen, but we just continue to push through, never give up. I'm not saying the Iowa Hawkeyes are never going to lose in November ever again, but if we just focus on us and look internally and individually, we have a great shot of continuing the success. So, but again, it's an honor to get the bowl back in Iowa City. It's a very talented Wisconsin team, but now we got to shift our focus to Minnesota. So.
Can you feel the improvement though of this team from this?
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I just kind of focus on my guys and what I can do to put them in better situations. But I mean, yeah, we're improving. We're taking strides. Youth's not an excuse anymore. Young guys are stepping up to the plate. So, yeah, I'm just super proud of them. We're just going to continue to improve because that's day by day, just focusing on practice, fundamental stuff. So when you do that, you're going to improve. So.
Okay, where you guys were versus now you're bowl eligible, you're in first place in the West. Jack said nothing's changed. The mindset has remained the same. Has anything changed in your eyes? And if so, what? Or is it just still doing the same things over and over again?
I think it's collective efforts every week, putting everything together to the point where we need to get to the win. And like I mentioned last week, I feel like we still have our best football to play, and I still believe that. And I think a few weeks ago it just wasn't showing yet for us, and I think it's starting to turn around a little bit, but we got to keep progressing.
What felt different about this game?
Well, unfortunately, we were behind the sticks a lot. We weren't very good on first down today. We didn't run the ball effectively, but we'll get that cleaned up. A lot of long third downs today, which are tough to convert. Chad is backed up, but the defense played their butts off, and we had great field position when we did put points on the board. So that's a testament to the special teams unit and the defensive unit.
Is this kind of what you envisioned, like at the beginning of the season, what this team could turn into? You know, all three phases contributing, you guys punching it into the end zone when you had the opportunities to do so?
I think it's tough. I mean, a lot of people nowadays have a glass jaw, and if you get knocked on your butt, they don't want to get up. And that 3-game losing streak, that was really tough for us. And there was a lot of senior leadership that pulled together and brought everybody closer to one another without, wedging us apart, because we really only care about the people's opinions inside the locker room and inside our building. So I don't know if you could have told me a couple weeks ago this is what it would have looked like, but we still got 2 games ahead of us, and we're happy that we got kind of our fate in our own hands. So see what we can do with it, game at a time.
Was there any chip on your shoulder 3 weeks ago when everyone on the outside seemingly kind of counted you guys out?
I don't think it's a chip on your shoulder. I feel like we have program standards that we need to live up to, and we have high expectations for ourselves. So I think it's those expectations that we set for ourselves that we're going to go out and play the way that we know how to, which is tough and physical and smart and together. And when we do all of those and we do it together, I think that's when we push things through and see the results that we want.
What was it like getting the fullback? It seemed like the defense was on quite the run there.
Yeah, they were on the sideline. They beat us down there first. They deserved it today. They played their butts off. Like I said, great field position when we put points on the board. So, I mean, I really don't care who carries that bull off the field. I had it in my hands at one point. I'm just glad that it's back with us. So
You got to go against Cooper's, I'm sure, in drills probably now, probably not live or anything. What does he mean to this team, and is he gotten to the point of just, oh, it's just another thing that Cooper's doing out there? Or?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of guys like that. They're just like, wow, I mean, incredible athlete, better teammate, and a lot of guys like that in our locker room. And I feel like Cooper's one of them, and I think we have a lot of guys that can still show their best football ahead. But yeah, I mean, going against him in practice, great athlete, better teammate.
I'm sure during the game you lined up across from Herbig at number 19. And, obviously, he was a problem for you guys. Did you discuss tweaks during the game of how to kind of work around kind of the dominance he was showing?
Yeah, I mean, every week you got to account for great players. He was one of them this week, and yeah, you got to account for them, or they're going to make a lasting impression, not in a good way.
Was there anything you did specifically though in this game where you kind of gained some traction, or not?
Yeah, I mean, they line up in wide nines a lot, which is definitely tough for tight ends on the end of the line of scrimmage because we're trying to move it and they're trying to box us in. And when we get boxed in, everything just gets clustered up in there and you can't get any movement. So we were really aware of him on the perimeter and trying to reach our aiming points but not let him stick inside, which was what they show on tape a lot too. So, I mean, little tweaks like that throughout the game that you just got to pick up on and hopefully you can execute later in the game.
How about Deontay Craig, one of his best games of his career today? How have you kind of seen him grow into what he's doing now?
I think Craig is one of those guys that's going to continue to develop, and I think that's what our entire defense is doing too. Every week I feel like you're saying a new name on the defense. I'm just like, he's made that play 100 times in practice, and it just hasn't showed up yet on the field. And it's really good to see those guys get that recognition.
What does it mean patience-wise for the offense? Because you knew the mettle of your foe. You knew what you were going against, and you knew it wasn't going to be easy. Did it require a certain mindset, just knowing don't take any unnecessary risks, just let it work, fist fight them for 60 minutes and get through it? Or, what was kind of the mindset going against something like that?
I mean, like I said, it's a collective effort. I think it was the second or the third drive we had that turnover, the fumble, and they went down and scored a field goal right off of that. So you could see clearly right off of our mistake that they capitalized on it. And when we started taking care of the ball and, we were trying to stay ahead of the chains and convert third downs, stuff seemed to go our way. But, when you kind of shoot yourself in the foot like that, turning the ball over, they're going to go down and capitalize on it. So we got to avoid that stuff at all costs as much as possible in the near future. But, yeah, I mean, they're a great team, and if we shoot ourselves.
Way in the locker room, what was that moment like for you, especially knowing that they've been critical of you at times this year?
I had some buddies from back home I saw, so I was going to say hi to them. It was fun.
What does it mean to win this game against this opponent, just knowing how tough they've been across the board forever? They've been a measuring stick at some times for Iowa, but to come back and to win and then grab the ball, go run off the field and jump around and everything.
Yeah, it was great. It's funny because the game in 20 was really sweet. It was a great game for, a lot of guys that played in that have really fond memories, but there's no fans. And that's the one downside of that game 2 years ago. So it felt really good to win this one at home and, to get that trophy that seemingly was always over there for beginning part of my career and over the last 10 years, it seems. So, really great to get the win and just, really happy for our program.
I believe you're the first Iowa quarterback since Stanzi to beat Wisconsin twice in their career. What's that mean for you?
That's cool. It's obviously, it's a team effort. I'm a byproduct of, our success is the team's success. But yeah, that's cool. It means means we're doing something right as a program. It's good.
How challenging was it to call plays and when they were rushing so effectively off the edge? Obviously, Herbig was a huge part of that, but it seemed like eventually you guys figured some stuff out.
Yeah, it was definitely, it's challenging. Just schematically they present some issues. Just you know what they're going to do. It's just it's still challenging to beat it. I thought that we settled it in the second half just with some movement throws. I had pretty poor rhythm. I felt like third quarter especially, just because it felt like it was, it just didn't have great rhythm. But we were able to get back on track, and obviously with some big plays on defense allowed us to kind of get into some more just easy stuff in the pass game, just because especially third down they can present some really challenging looks. That's where they get all these QBs that they play is they really mess with the quarterback's eyes, and when they're in their nickel packages they move guys around quite a bit post snap. So I thought we did a really nice job from a game planning perspective of trying to limit that and just keep them as vanilla as we could, and that helped, and just good to get a win.
You went quick on the goal line. Is that just something you guys have been working on, just kind of going quick? Did you think Caleb got in first? And then
I did. He definitely got in. I guess they called him for progress. He was definitely in from my view, which was right there. But yeah, we've done that a few times, the quick sneak. So it's good to get in, good to get points on the board, and I feel bad, man. I steal these touchdowns from these running backs sometimes, but I'm not complaining about it.
Spencer, earlier in the year, you were a little bit critical of you guys just not taking advantage of the opportunities when you put yourselves in the red zone or whatnot. But it seems like over the last 3 weeks we've seen just more and more progress in that area. Even tonight, the yardage wasn't probably where you guys want it to be, but you took advantage of the scoring opportunities when you got it.
Yeah, and that's obviously credit to our defense and special teams for giving us short fields, and anytime they do that, we need to execute, because that's a it's a gift, right? It's really helpful when either of those units can do that. I think we had it on the plus 40 once and didn't do much, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the rest of them we were able to execute, at least get some points on the board when we had a short field, and that's how it needs to be. And especially when you play a defense like Wisconsin, where every yard is going to be hard to come by. Getting a short field, off a turnover or whatever is really helps, and is just great team football.
You've probably gone against Cooper Gene a lot in practice. Is that what you see? What do you see from him?
Yeah, I think I told the story earlier in the year, but it's funny because the first week and a half of camp, we were getting after him. I felt like he might. I don't know if you guys are talking to him, but he might disagree. But then by the second week of camp, he started picking off some throws that he wasn't before, and started making some plays that he hadn't been making. And I think once he started to really get comfortable and figure it all out, he started really showing up and being a guy that I had to be aware of in camp. So yeah, I definitely say once camp got rolling, he started making a lot of really nice plays, and it's awesome.
Awareness, is athleticism or awareness, or what do you think?
I think he's very opportunistic. Just he's got great ball skills. He's going to catch the ball if the quarterback gives him a chance. I also think just he's really fast, and he was playing primarily our cash spot during camp, and just his ability once he figured out how we were attacking him, and just he was just able to make some really nice plays on that not many guys do. So I'd say it's a combination of the two. He's got great awareness and really fast and great ball skills.
Did any of your conversations at the Manning Academy pay off for you today with another Big Ten quarterback?
I don't know. Well, the big thing, I thought we did a nice job game planning wise of just staying away from, their number 15, John, who I played in high school actually. My senior year, we beat their ass. He does a really good job. He's the guy they free up, right? That it's the classic boundary safety, on third down. He plays field too, but Coach Leonard likes to just let him roam, let him be free. And I think that in a lot of ways, teams get into trouble because he'll on the snap he'll show you cover 2 and then drop right down and it's not cover 2, and on tape that it showed up that he was getting guys like that. So for the most part we stayed away from him, stayed away from the stuff that could potentially I could get fooled, stuff like that. And yeah, I talked to Aiden after our game and just asking him what he thought, and he gave me some nice pointers, so it's good.
1 or 2 more.
Last week, you pointed out how 2 weeks before that, we kind of left you all for dead. How does it feel now to have 3 straight wins and kind of prove us all wrong?
Feels good to be winning. Yeah, I hope you guys didn't. It wasn't a slight to you guys. It's just it was more just a point of that. Football is a long game. November is a long month, and it's a long way to get there. And we seem to be continuing to improve, and I say that just because of our last 3 wins. We continue to keep winning, and that's the goal. And we've got 2 more, and just got to keep it going because we've got really nice momentum right now, and I feel like we're playing really, great team football, it seems.
Is there something about this team and this time of year that allows you to take off? Because you were a redshirt freshman the last time you lost, and that was by 2 points over there.
Mm-hmm.
In this month, in November, is there something that correlates over the years?
Yeah, I'd say, it's all our head coach. Love it. Our head coach does a great job of throughout the year, right? I think we put, I never played anywhere else, but I think we put a ton of emphasis, maybe more than other teams, into that it's a long race and that you have to continue improving week to week. Because really, a good team should be peaking in November. And you do that by just compound interest of months and months of work. And yeah, I think that's it's kind of been a cornerstone, or I don't know, that's not the right word, but it's been it's been something our teams have done recently, and we've got to continue doing it because it pays off. This is when the games really count and when the chips are on the line. So it's good.
Were you aware, or what is your level of awareness that you're tied for first place and you can probably win the division?
Yeah, well, we found out. I found out after the game that Purdue beat Illinois. And I don't know. I think it's a total waste of time just for us to think about that, only because we have to beat a good Minnesota team and a good Nebraska team coming up here. Obviously you play Big Ten football to win your division, and having that maybe more in the picture than it was a few weeks ago is great. But I think the second that we set our sights at that, we're doing ourselves a disservice. We're going to, you can't do that. You got to focus on beating Minnesota, because the second you start looking at the standings and all that shit, like you lose to Minnesota, great, it's over. So just got to keep our focus on what's important.
All right, thanks, Spencer.
Looking back, a 3-week period here, you guys went from whatever happened in Ohio State to now. Anything change? Nothing change? What's kind of going on?
I think, just continuing to work. I think, we didn't put our heads down. We didn't look at the season as a failure. I think, we came in every single day from those losses and just continued to work, continue to do what we did, continue to do the things that we did, starting in the winter, in the springtime, in the summertime, just falling back on what we are and who we are as a team, as a defense, as an offense, as a unit. We just came together and just continued to fight. We just didn't, like I said, we didn't put our heads down. We want to keep pushing no matter what the outcome was. As long as we, gave our best on the field, we could live with how the game ended.
Your defense has been outstanding all year long. How much better has it actually gotten, would you say, over the course of the year?
I think it's gotten definitely a lot better. I think, from a DB standpoint, I think, we are all thinking the same thing. We're all, on the same page, besides the one play that we gave up today. We're normally always locked in on every given down. I think, Coach Parker does a great job of, preparing not only us as DBs, but the entire defense as a whole, and making sure that we're all on our keys. And Coach Bell and Coach Wallace do a great job as well, and making sure that everybody knows what they need to do on each and every given down. I think, as the season has went on, we've gotten a lot better, just playing a lot more confident, and that's continued to show week in and week out, just how good this defense is. And I think, we still, even with how good we're playing, I think we still have so much more room for improvement, on all ends of the game. So like I said, over this course of the season, I think, we've been playing completely outstanding, and this should continue to grow on top of that.
Just a negative question here, but what did happen on that one play?
Did y'all interview Riley?
No, he hasn't been here yet.
I'll let y'all ask him that.
What did you see on the pass that you tipped and Riley caught?
Oh man, it was just game plan. I think they from a passing standpoint, they only do so much. And I think we understood that. Dude kind of gave me, just stemmed his route in a little bit. Then he broke off the corner. I just broke on it. I felt bad for Riley. He didn't have a pick yet, so I just decided to pick. Tip it up to him, and then he decided to finish the playoff. It's like, no, but it was just reading the play, just reading the receiver, just making a great break on the ball.
Were you guys aware that you hadn't beaten Wisconsin in front of fans in Kinnick since 2008?
Actually, I wasn't aware of that at all. Actually, that's kind of crazy. But hey, good thing we came out with the win today for sure.
What was different about this game?
Nothing. I wouldn't say nothing different at all. I think we had a great game plan. I think our coaching staff, from a defensive standpoint, I think they did a great job and made sure that we were prepared for that run game. They have an outstanding backfield. They have a great receiving core. But I think we did a great job in stopping the run. And when we stopped the run, us DBs knew what we had to do on the back end to make sure we had limited those big plays that they could make and the potential that they did have to go over top on us. So I think we had a great game plan established. I think our linebackers, our D line, did a great job in causing havoc in the backfield and scraping the line of scrimmage and getting to the ball like they do every single week. So, like I said, just making sure we were where our coaches wanted us to be at, and I think we did a great job of that.
What was it like carrying the bull out?
Oh man, it was beautiful. That's something I always wanted to do, starting when I was a freshman. Seeing older guys, being able to carry it out of the stadium, and I finally got my chance to do it. So it's definitely surreal.
Was that something you planned out, or was it you?
Oh yeah, I was. If anybody saw, I was at the end of the field before it even hit zero. I was like 20 seconds on the clock. I was probably like halfway on the field. But yeah, I was definitely excited to plan on carrying that out.
How about Deontay Craig, probably the best game of his collegiate career tonight? Did you kind of know something like that was coming, and how have you kind of seen him progress?
Man, I think any given Saturday, I think anybody on this defense can have a crazy career game like that. I think we do a great job in preparing, and our coaches always say when the play comes your way, make sure you're there to make it. And I think he always does a great job in being where he needs to be. Like everybody else on this defense, we have a really sound defense. I think we all know what we need to do, and he was just where he needed to be every single time during the game today, and he made huge plays on the field. So just kudos to him for being prepared.
What makes this defense so great week in and week out? Is it the fact that you guys prepare and study? Is it talent?
Yeah. I think talent, the way we prepare and study. Like I said, I think our coaches do a great job in making sure that we understand the game plan, making sure that we understand what they see in the game, what they see during the game, and what they see before the game throughout the week. And I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. We do a great job in practicing 110%. Our coaches push us, probably harder than anything I've ever, been pushed before. And I think, that prepares us, for Saturdays, every single Saturday. He makes sure that Coach Parker makes sure that we're ready. Any mistakes that we make throughout the week, we somehow find a way to correct them on Saturday. And even though sometimes we may think like, man, this play might kill us, maybe this play might get to us. On Saturdays we find a way to stop it and be on top of it. So I think just the way we're prepared as a DB, as a linebacker group, watching film throughout the week with each other, making sure that we're seeing the same things, and all that coming together just helps us be prepared for Saturdays.
The youngest member of your secondary is over there, kind of
Hey,
bouncing
cool.
off the wall there.
Yeah.
He's had to play a couple of positions. I mean, cash, now corner, and yet he keeps making plays. Does anything he does surprise you, and what does he do well?
Well, like what doesn't Coop do well? You saw him on the punt return, athlete, corner, athlete, cash, athlete. Y'all didn't even get to see him play safety yet. He did in fall camp, athlete. When you just have an athlete who's talented, somebody who's talented, hey, I'm going to gas you up a little bit, Coop. When you have someone who's just talented and a student of the game and is always wanting to learn, and even when he makes mistakes, he's always finding a way to bounce back and correct those mistakes. You're going to have a very talented player, and I think the ceiling for him is the sky, wherever he wants to take it. And I can't wait to just see where his game progresses, even when I leave here, and see what he can continue to do. So he's definitely going to be a great player for Iowa football, down the line.
Okay. Drop kick a field goal?
I actually don't. So I've tried it, but not very successful there.
How much fun is it to be able to be on the punt return team, the punt team, playing corner, get to do make an impact in a lot of areas of the game?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I love playing the game of football, so anytime I get to be out on the field, I just enjoy every moment and just give it my all.
What did you see on your pick six, and what was your break like?
Yeah, I was in man coverage. I probably got beat a little bit, but then I came back out of it and I just saw the ball coming, so I just had to make a play there, and then it was all green ahead. So.
How much of it is hustle plays? I mean, the punt where you downed it at the 1, that's a hustle play. You didn't give up on that play where you could have.
Yeah, I mean that's just going back to practice. I mean we do that a few times a week in practice, tracking balls throughout the air, and then other guys hustling down too. There's another guy, I'm not sure who it was, it might have been Jamison Hines there to pitch it back, and there's multiple guys flying down the field. So special teams is definitely something everybody prides ourselves in, and then that leads to the defense, and then good field position for the offense as well.
You're a dangerous man with the ball in your hand. Did you lobby Ryan for some play on offense?
I have not. Nope. I haven't talked to him about that.
On that punt return, you seemed upset with you, so you thought maybe you should have cut it back at the end, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I could outrun the last man there, the punter, but couldn't quite get there. I mean, everybody was giving me crap about it on the sideline. I was pretty frustrated, but we scored. So.
Do you enjoy that now, the punt returns? I mean, you're making a big difference in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy getting back there, fielding it, and then having the ball in my hands. And then credit to a bunch of guys up front doing their job as well. Starts with the gunners, the corners doing a good job on them, and then the guys in the middle. I mean, and we also had a block punt today. So special teams is a huge deal for our team.
If you could describe in a capsule what makes this defense what it is, what it's been this season, how would you do that?
I think it just goes back to our preparation throughout the week. Always in the film room, watching film together. Then our coaches just wanted perfection out of us throughout the week. Each and every day we're on the practice field. We stress that we play at a championship level, give championship level effort every time we're on the field, whether that's practice or in a game.
Cooper, you outgained Iowa's the offense through 3 quarters. You had a pick 6, forced a fumble, down to punt the 1. True sophomore playing 3 or 4 different positions. How have you prepared yourself to really take on this role this season and just as a true sophomore to really embrace kind of your do-it-all role on this team?
Yeah, I'm just trying to do whatever they tell me to do, whether that's punt return, being a gunner, being a corner on punt return. Wherever they want me, I just want to help the team win. Whether doesn't matter the position. And I think my teammates help out a lot with that. In the punt return game, like you saw, I had a lot of green grass there when I caught the ball. So that goes back to them doing their job as well.
How physically demanding is what you're doing? You look like you got a little winded there at times because you're running up and down the field and a little banged up. How physically demanding is it?
Yeah, I get a little tired there throughout the game, but it's football, and I love playing the game, love being out on the field, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So.
Is it what you did in high school because you had to do everything at that level? Does that help you now?
I mean, yeah, maybe a little bit, but just being out on the field, doing my job, whatever that is, it's just a lot of fun playing with these guys.
Looks like the defense has a pretty high standard, especially in the secondary. Led by the players who were there before you, and it seems to be passed down. I mean, how much do you guys all kind of feed off one another that you don't want to let one another down because there's such a high standard for the secondary all the time?
Yeah, I think we put a lot into the game, whether that's our preparation throughout the week. So I mean, when it comes down to Saturday, we always strive to be perfect, and I think that goes back to Coach Parker. You know, he demands excellence from us, and we want to do that for him. And he's a great coach, and he makes sure that we're ready throughout the week.
How much live punt return reps do you even get? Probably. I mean, especially with Arlen having been the guy. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
that's kind of pinching. So, I mean, are you kind of still? Could you use more work, I guess, in that area?
I mean, I get him usually every week, whether he's returning or I'm returning. So
you're ready for this
yeah,
opportunity.
yep.
Would you say you've always been really good in space? Like when you get in the ball, or is that something you developed early in your life? Or
I think ever since it goes back to when I was young, just playing around in the backyard, whatever I was doing. I think yeah, just having that athletic ability. Yeah, I don't really like talking about myself, but yeah.
How much did it mean to you when you were over there and hearing Kayvon say all those things?
Yeah, it's really cool coming from a guy like him. He puts a lot into the game, and he's really fun to be around, as you guys could tell. He saw his glasses he had on there. He's really funny guy. He's always cracking jokes, even when we're on the sideline, just lighting in the mood. So he's a great leader for our team and for our defense, and he's probably the guy I look up to on this team.
Obviously, you did pretty much everything in high school, but did you think you could be this impactful this early in your career here?
I mean, I think it's just when I got here, I just tried to gain the trust of my coaches and my teammates as well. But it all goes back to them. It's a team effort, on the defensive side, special teams, offense. It all comes together. So yeah, just like I said earlier, just trying to go out and do my job, no matter what that is.
One more question. You held Wisconsin with 200 yards passing on the day, held Allen, one of the best backs in the Big Ten, with 50 yards rushing. Tell me about the planning that went into that.
Yeah, I think the coaches came up with a great game plan this week, and then it just comes down to putting it on the field on Saturday. Everybody played well. There's obviously still some things we can clean up. Defensive line played well, and then the linebackers, and the DBs. It's a collective effort. Just everybody doing their job.
Good, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
McKee against Wisconsin. How important that was?
That was huge. I mean, all week the coaches stressed the importance of, who's going to win up front. It was a physical week. Guys were locked in. The coaches had us prepared, and Wisconsin, got to tip your hat to them. They always have a good program, great big physical offensive linemen, great back. So it was definitely a battle, and lucky enough to come out on top.
What did you see on the block punt?
All week, Coach Woods has been pulling older clips of pro style protection. The first couple times on the rushes, I saw him kind of duck his head a little bit. So the third time, Coach gave me the freedom all week to take it up the field or duck it off inside, and I saw an opening, took it and reached out and was able to get a piece of the ball.
Was it full block on that?
Say it one time.
Did you have the full block on that one yet?
Yeah, I'm feeling it a little bit right here in my forearm right now, but a W takes all the pain away. So.
No, I mean, was the call a full block? I mean, were you?
Oh, like the play call, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was base double. So the pro style protection, we knew our ends were going to have a bit of an advantage over some of their protectors, and not just me, but everybody up front did a great job of rushing all game, and that's how things open up like that.
Deontay, how have you seen your game really come together over the last, especially 6 weeks? I feel like I know you had a good fall camp and everything, but it just really seems like you're in full stride right now.
I mean, it's not just me. It's everybody. If it wasn't for my teammates, pushing me like they do, holding me accountable every day in practice, I mean, we wouldn't be here today. So, I mean, it just goes back to trusting the work. The coaches do a great job all week, putting together a great scheme so we can go out there and execute at a high level.
Did you think you were going to have a game sort of like this coming up?
I mean, November football in the Big Ten, that's a Midwestern kid's dream. So getting to go out there under the lights, what was it, like 20, 25 degrees towards the end of the game, under the snow too. It was just so fun, especially getting to run across that field at the end and grab that trophy with my boys.
How much did it mean to be able to grab the ball?
What you mean on the bull? You mean?
Trophy,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I thought you said the ball. My bad.
Oh.
It was definitely exciting, especially this is my first time getting a chance to play against Wisconsin. Freshman year, I was dressed but didn't play, and then sophomore year, I was hurt. So, getting to go out there on the field anytime is special, but especially when you're playing for a trophy this time of year. So, yeah, I was tired, but that run, that was all exhilaration. So that was good.
You guys are tied for first now in the Big Ten West and have a pretty decent path to get back to Indy. What does that mean? What's that mean to you?
Whenever you're in a chance to play for another trophy, it means a lot. A few weeks ago, a lot of people were writing us off at 3-4, but the coaches did a great job of, just trusting the work, like I said earlier, and, keeping our head down, not focusing on the noise, and just taking care of what we can do. And, we got 2 more opportunities to go out there and do that.
Were you guys aware that you haven't beaten Wisconsin in front of a Kinnick crowd since 2008?
Man, I had no idea. I mean, we one of our every week the D-line room, every room but D-line room since I'm in it, we have our 3 points, and the third one this week was Slump Buster. So I didn't know it was 2008, but I knew it had over the past 5-10 years they've pretty much dominated the series. So like I said earlier, anytime you go out there and play against them, it's special. It's always a tough challenge, and I'm blessed to come out with the W today.
Deontay, entering the season, not that you guys are disrespected, but everybody talked about the linebackers, everybody talked about the secondary. It seems like you guys as a defensive line have just gotten better and better every week. How have Kelvin and Jay really instilled that week-by-week improvement? How have you guys been able to make those strides over the season?
They don't preach perfection, and I think that's a big thing for our room. They just preach improvement, and as long as you give out 100% effort every play, every rep in the game, practice, locked in the film room, then you'll see the results you see today. But I'm blessed to be in that room. Like I've said so many times, and they make playing football fun.
Good. Thanks.
Thanks again.